Now let's start with connective tissue. Connective tissues are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. They are named connective tissues because of their special function of linking and supporting other tissues or organs of the body. They range from soft connective tissues to specialized tissues, which include cartilage, bone, adipose, and blood. In all connective tissues except blood, the cells secrete fibers of structural proteins called collagen or elastin. The fibers provide strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissue. These cells also secrete modified polysaccharides which accumulate between the cells and fibers and act as matrix, means ground substance. Connective tissues are classified into three types: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. The loose connective tissue has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi fluid ground substance. For example, areolar tissue present beneath the skin. Often it serves as a support framework for epithelium. It contains fibroblasts, cells that produce and secrete the fibers, macrophages, and mast cells. Adipose tissue is another type of loose connective tissue located mainly beneath the skin. The cells of this tissue are specialized to store fats. The excess of nutrients which are not used immediately are converted into fats and are stored in this tissue. Fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed in the dense connective tissues. Orientation of fibers show regular or irregular pattern and are called dense regular and dense irregular tissues. In the dense regular connective tissue, the collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. Tendons which attach the skeletal muscles to bones, and ligaments which attach one bone to another are examples of this tissue. Does irregular connective tissue has fibroblasts and many fibers? Sorry. Dense irregular connective tissue has fibroblasts and many fibers, mostly collagen, that are oriented differently. This tissue is present in the skin, cartilage, bones, and blood. Are various types of specialized connective tissues. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid and pliable and resists compression. Cells of this tissue, chondrocytes, are enclosed in small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. Most of the cartilages in vertebrate embryos are replaced by bones in adults. Cartilage is present in the tip of nose, outer ear joints, between adjacent bones of the vertebral column, limbs, and hands in adults. Bones have a hard and non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers, which give bone its strength. It is the main tissue that provides structural frame to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissues and organs. The bone cells, means osteocytes, are present in the space called lacunae. Limb bones, such as the long bones of the legs, serve weight bearing functions. They also interact with skeletal muscles attached to them to bring about movements. The bone marrow in some bones is the site of production of blood cells. Blood is a fluid connective tissue containing plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It is the main circulating fluid that helps in the transport of various substances. Muscle tissue. Each muscle is made of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel arrays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibrils called myofibrils. Muscle fibers contract, means they shorten in response to stimulation. They relax, means they lengthen and return to their uncontracted state in a coordinated fashion. Their action moves the body to adjust to the changes in the environment and to maintain the positions of the various parts of the body. In general, muscles play an active role in all the movements of the body. Muscles are of three types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscle tissues is closely attached to the skeletal bones. In a typical muscle called the biceps, striated means striped. Skeletal muscle fibers are bundled together in parallel fashion. A sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fibers. The smooth muscle fiber. The smooth muscle fibers taper at both the ends, means their shape is fusiform and do not show striation. Cell junctions hold them together and they are bundled together in a connective tissue sheath. The wall of internal organs such as the blood vessels, stomach, and intestine contains this type of muscle tissue. Smooth muscles are involuntary as their functioning cannot be directly controlled. We usually are not able to make it contract merely by thinking about it as we do with skeletal muscles. Cardiac muscle tissue is a contractile tissue present only in the heart. Cell junctions fuse the plasma membranes of cardiac muscles cells and make them stick together. Communication junctions means intercalated discs. At some points, fusion points allow the cells to contract as a unit. That is, when one cell receives a signal to contract, its neighbors are also stimulated to contract. Neural tissue. Neural tissue exerts the greatest control over the body's responsiveness to changing conditions. Neurons, the unit of neural system, are excitable cells. The neuroglial cell, which constitute the rest of the neural system, protect and support neurons. Neuroglia make up more than one half the volume of neural tissue in our body. When a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated which swiftly travels along its plasma membrane. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron's endings or output zone triggers the events that may cause stimulation or inhibition of adjacent neurons and other cells. So this was all about structural organization in animals. Next we will study about cockroach and then frog, and then this chapter will get completed. Okay.